Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott and this is Grassroots NASCAR Racing. Now today we're going to be doing another BAT auction review. It's been a little while since I've done one of these. The last one was my car, which we'll get into that in just a second. We'll take a look at who was the highest bidder, who was the winner. And but we're going to dig into a pretty cool car this week, one that I think you guys will really like. It's kind of the golden era, what I consider the golden era of NASCAR. So it's one that I really wanted to review and look over. It's a pretty cool car. So, but first, let's dig into my auction for my car. Let's look at this. All right, so here's my car. It sold for $18,750. Now that's a little lower than I had hoped. I was hoping it would at least go over 20. Well, let's see who was closest here. The closest one, without going over, was Black Swan 19874 with a guess of 17.5. So not too bad. Black Swan, if you want to contact me, my email is in the description of this video and you will get a prize pack for your winning bid. But what happened with mine, so I'm really curious about this because, and forgive this is a nighttime shoot, so yes, and you'll find out why once we get into this one. There's a special reason. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like in a way my auction got kind of messed up because the auction for my car ended a day and a half after the hurricane hit. So a day and a half after the hurricane went through, went over Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and all that, took out power and internet to who knows how many 5 million potential bidders. That's when my auction ended. So I wasn't terribly thrilled about that. And guys, if I know people out there in North Carolina are still suffering, if you can help in any way, we got to help those people out because unfortunately it seems like our government isn't doing a whole lot. So but yeah, so it sold for $18,750, but I talked to the winning bidder, texted him that night, and he said, oh, I'm out of town on a golf trip or something like that. Can I talk to you tomorrow? So I said, sure. Tried calling him the next day, texting him for about a week. Never heard from him. I contacted Bring a Trailer. They tried contacting him. We never heard from the guy again. So the car did not sell on Bring a Trailer. But it did just sell a few days ago. It is actually in its new home in Utah at a Nissan dealership where it will be sitting in the showroom of a Nissan dealership. So you never know. If you are in Utah and you see a mellow yellow car, that's my car. So, but let's dig into this new one here. All right, so this is what we got. Look at this. A Harry Gant Oldsmobile. How cool is that? That is a very cool car. Now, this is not a museum queen. This is not a perfect car. This is a race car. If you want to go do some vintage racing, this would be a great car for you. Now, we'll go through and look at some of these pictures and go over a few things. Here's what they say, though. This is a race car that is said to have been campaigned between the late 80s and 1992, including road courses at Watkins Glen and Sears Point with Harry Gant behind the wheel. It's got a 358 with a Jericho 4-speed and all the typical stuff you'd see in a NASCAR listing. 15-inch wheels, wheel with disc brakes, all that cool stuff. Seller got it in 2014 and it comes with spare parts and memorabilia. Really nothing exciting right here. I mean, it's really just kind of the same old stuff. 15-inch wheels, Goodyear racing tires. Let's get into some of these pictures though. The dash is signed by Harry. That's kind of cool. Hour meter shows 79 hours on it. Seller says the engine was overhauled in 2017. And here's a picture that shows a lot of the spare stuff that comes with it. We'll get into that down a little farther. The car does not have a traditional VIN, blah, blah, blah. It's not street legal. They do provide a couple videos This is one of it just running. This is looking around the interior. If you guys want to check it out, I'll put a link to this auction in the description. Here's a walk around. All right, here is why we're doing a nighttime shoot. We had to set the mood. This right here is NASCAR porn. I feel like we should be putting on some Barry White, and after you hear this, be ready to smoke your cigarette, because it is wonderful. How good is that? I mean, come on. Somebody commented on the comments in this, I want that as my ringtone. That, it just sounds so good when it fires up. So, yeah. But, let's dig into these pictures, guys. And girls, there's about, I think about 3% of you that are girls that watch these videos, so. So as you can tell, this has been raced some. You've rock chips all over the front of it. Little dents and dings here and there. There's a bend or crack or something right there. Just an awesome profile shot though. Look at how good these cars looked. Oh my gosh. They're just incredible looking. So much better than the new stuff. Yeah, like, look, I mean, dents and scratches and stuff all over this car. But it's been used as a race car, so what do you expect? Paint chips, all kinds of stuff along here. Is it missing a decal on the back here? Shouldn't it say Skoal? I don't know. Yeah, another dent, pretty sizable dent right there behind it. It does have the fuel filler on each side, and it's set up on this side right now, but the way it's set up right now is you just open the trunk and take off a cap, but you have those available on either side. I love these Oldsmobile rear windows, how they just, it almost looks like they just wrap around. I love that. Now this would kind of drive me crazy. See that big gap right there? I mean, it's perfect going down the sides, but right in the middle you got that big gap. Like I said, lots of rock chips. Lots and lots of chips. That's how the front of my mellow yellow car looked after being at Rockingham and North Wilkesboro. That's why I got it repainted. You got a dent right there on the corner of the hood. But I mean, it's a track car. Now once you start looking closer, it does have some body issues. And I can't say too much because my Hooters car is kind of the same way. It's got lots of cracks and stuff all over, but this one definitely has a lot of cracks, and it's got like little cracks, not just big ones. Look at all that right there in the corner of the hood and on the fender here. So it's not something that's going to keep you from getting on the track. You can take it on the track the way it is, but it's just not going to look the prettiest. I mean, even along here, even on the doors, it's got cracking up there, cracking down here, cracking down low, cracking on the door. So it does have some issues. Got dents on the door. But it is still a really cool car. I like it. I've never seen a toe point right here like this, but it's kind of interesting. I mean, it works. Whatever works. Go through, yeah, you got your dent there. And see, like even on the paint here, just cracking. There's cracking everywhere. And it's little stuff. It's not like a big crack like this. I can understand that, but it's just like the paint itself just has to, look at that. There's just tons of little cracks all through it. Chipping right there. It's got nice wheels and brakes. It's got really good brakes, more modern stuff. The interior looks really good. I mean, it's got everything you would need for doing some vintage racing. Good seat. It's got plywood in the bottom, which a lot of guys were asking about that in the comments, but I've seen that in plenty of race cars. It's just good for protecting from the heat, you know. I don't get what this, he's got like some kind of a mat on the dash. Like a fuzzy mat. I'm not sure what that's for. But, I don't know. It's his race car. He can do what he wants. Got your fire system, all your cooling. It's a good looking car. Somebody's going to have a lot of fun with this one. A lot of fun. You have switches over here for all your fans. There's a lot of fans in this car, which is always good. 2 fire handles. I'm not sure what that's about. But if it works, it works. Cool box. We'll click through these a little faster until I see something worth pointing out. Battery on the passenger side, so that's cool. I wonder if he has the cover that goes over it. There should be a cover over that. But that's good that he has it, or that the battery's over there. Radio is on the other side, which is kind of odd. Usually you'd have this within reach of the driver, but that is not within reach of the driver. You got fans that he can control for this, so that's good. I like the decal in the back. That looks really good. Oh yeah, there's a better shot of it. There's all your wood. There you go. There's the fuel cell. So you can see, you just fill it right there. You just take the cap off and fill it right there. Kind of standard with a lot of cars these days, so you don't have to use an actual fuel can and stuff. Look at this. It says ALF 92. Was ALF one of Harry Gant's cars? Comment down below if you know that. I haven't looked it up yet, so I'll rely on you guys. Engine, beautiful engine. I love the way the ducting is set up here. So you got that one and that one right there, and it just goes straight through into a fan, straight to the brakes. Like, no messing around. That's cool. I do like that. It's a good looking engine. Good looking engine bay. Engine sounds strong, so that's good. Got a little helpful info on there for you. Now someone was saying that the front end, something didn't seem right. So they don't say anything about documentation for this car. Like, is there documentation that this is one of Harry Gant's cars that he raced on the road courses? And I've heard somebody say that this front end, something about it just doesn't look right. That it's not what Harry, the style that Harry drove. But I don't know that for sure. So it's just something I'm hearing. That rear end looks good. You got your pump and everything. Cooler. Well, that's up front. So these are shots. Oh, there you go. Yeah. All looks very good. Some kind of chassis number on there. And some spare parts, which is always good. Now, in the comments of the listing, he says that this transmission does not come with it, that that's a spare for another vehicle. So, unfortunately, you don't get a spare transmission, but there are some good parts in here that do come with it, so that's always good. And a little bit of memorabilia. Can't go wrong with that. Here's a couple shots of him at the racetrack. And we're back to the beginning. So that's a pretty cool car, man. I like it. I mean, yeah, it's not in the best shape overall, but it's going to be a really, really fun car. You can take it out on the track the way it is. You don't need to restore the outside of it to have fun with it. So this thing has 3 days, 16 hours left. Currently it's at 10,250. 2 bids. And we're going to end on Saturday. Got a lot of views, a lot of watchers. That's good. But yeah, that's a pretty sweet little car. Somebody is going to have a lot of fun on the track. I want to hear this thing start up again. I don't know about you. Let's turn up the volume just a little bit. You watching on TV, if you want to turn it down a little. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, guys, what do you think? That's a pretty neat little car. What do you think it's going to go for? This one's kind of tricky because it does have a really good engine. It sounds good. It's pretty much race ready. Of course, you want to go over it with a fine-tooth comb, do your little nut and bolt check and everything before taking it out on the track. But it looks pretty much race ready. The body is not in the best shape. And who knows if it truly is a Harry Gant car. But I'm going to guess, I'm going to say 29,250. 29,250. I might be a little high, but it's got a good engine. It's a race-ready car. Yeah, it needs some body work, but I might be guessing a little high, but that's what I'm going to throw out there. So if you have a guess, the way we do this, if you haven't seen these videos before, we do Price is Right rules. So whoever gets the closest without going over, comment your guess down below, and in the next BAT auction review, we'll go over and see who was the winner. So comment down below, let me know what you think. Throw your guess out there, and we will see who wins the next one, and we'll keep an eye on this thing and see what it sells for. But anyway, in the meantime, guys, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.